My name's Jason Overland. I'm the Chief Inspector with Sunshine Coast Police. I'm the Central Patrol Group Inspector. At about 3:30 yesterday afternoon, there was a two-vehicle accident on a bikeway just near the Sunshine Motorway. Electric-powered push bikes were involved in the accident and they collided head-on. A 15-year-old boy is assisting us with our inquiries, and sadly an 8-year-old boy passed away as a consequence of that accident. So that accident is currently under investigation by our forensic crash unit, and in due course we'll know the full extent and circumstances of that accident. We understand at this stage, subject to further investigation, that it was an accident that involved vehicles travelling in different directions. So yes, I'm using the word vehicle broadly, but we're talking about push bikes that were powered by electricity. So there's no scooters involved. There were two e-bikes. The investigation will determine ultimately what they were, and that does involve an examination of how much power they produce and all that sort of thing. So for the sake of this interview, I can say that they were e-bikes. I understand at this stage that both of the riders were wearing helmets, but all of that detail will be covered in the forensic crash investigation, and we'll know all of that information in due course. So that 15-year-old is assisting us with our inquiries, and he's being dealt with according to the legislation that relates to them. We're asking for people who might have had dash cam footage or observed this prior to the incident to contact police, particularly us at Nambour or the forensic crash unit, and we'll be able to use that evidence. So yeah. I'm not talking about this particular issue, I need to be clear about that, okay? But generally speaking, we're running operations now, we have done for the last 6 months, and we're trying to educate people, mums and dads out there who want to buy their kids these machines, and we're trying to educate them about what they actually are. And what they actually are is a motorcycle. And I'm being careful I'm not talking about this particular incident, I'm talking generally speaking. One of the key requirements for calling something an e-bike is that it is primarily a bike with power assistance, and then if it's not that, it's a motorcycle. We've been seizing bikes, there's no doubt about that, particularly when they're driven in a dangerous manner, and I'm being very careful to stress that none of what I'm saying relates to the accident, okay? That's a separate issue, and that'll be addressed separately by the investigators. But generally speaking, we take action where we can, where we find people riding motorcycles, which is what these vehicles are that don't fit into the categories that I've provided to you. They will be motorcycles. If it's a pedal-assisted bike, that's one thing. If it's not, well then it's a motorcycle. There's no place on a public road or on a walkway for a motorcycle.